My child, hear my voice calling you now. I have led you to this moment for a reason, and I have something important to reveal to your heart. I know every step you've taken recently, every silent thought, every question you've kept inside. That's why I speak to you now, because nothing you're hearing right now is by chance. It's an answer, a direct move of my spirit reaching you exactly where you are. I know you by name, and I have always known you, always protected and blessed you, even in moments when you thought you were alone. There is an urgency in heaven, and I didn't allow you to wait any longer without hearing my voice. You faced difficulties, fears, and pressures that tried to stop you, but none of this is greater than what I am about to bring into your life. I have come to be with you in this moment because what I am doing in your spirit cannot be delayed. Heaven has decided something for you, and it's time for you to know. I want to remind you that Jesus, your Savior, is standing before me, speaking of you, remembering your struggles, your pain, your prayers, and your hopes. He is bringing your name before me right now. I need you to understand that every tear, every prayer, and every sigh has not gone unnoticed. When Jesus speaks of you before me, all of eternity listens. I hear you, I see you, and I act in response. That's why this message couldn't wait any longer. What is happening in heaven right now is for you, and it's not distant or vague, but a direct call. Open your heart because something alive, urgent, and divine is unfolding. You felt an unease, a pressure you can't explain, and that's because something supernatural is already in motion. It's breaking down invisible barriers and removing resistance you didn't even know was there. So, do not fear what surrounds you or the noise in your mind. Do not fear the attacks that came to weaken you. They only came because heaven has already favored you. You were chosen for this moment, and now I confirm it to you. Listen carefully. I have brought you here because today marks the start of a new season. Today begins a response that will not be partial. The heavens are leaning towards you with a final decision. You have been heard, seen, and remembered. What is about to unfold in your life, little one, is greater than anything you expected, greater than anything you've worked for, and greater than anything you can imagine. I call you by your name because you need to understand that this message is meant for you, not for anyone else. As you receive this first revelation, I want you to declare with faith what your spirit is already sensing. Comment now that you've received my word, because when you position yourself, you open the door for me to bring even more of what I have already begun. Take a moment to breathe and stay still. This is only the beginning. What I am about to say next will deepen even more the work I am doing in you right now, my child. Now, I need you to recognize what is happening over you in this very moment. There is a living, intense, and urgent movement in the heavens, and you are at its center. This movement did not start today. It has been growing, building in strength and depth until it has reached this moment where it can no longer remain hidden. Today, I am opening your spiritual eyes so you can see what your natural eyes could never perceive. There is a sound in the heavens. You can hear the angels taking their positions. Decrees are being spoken from my mouth. A huge spiritual shift is happening because of your name. While you've been going about your life, thinking everything is the same, in the unseen world, I've been tearing down old structures, removing obstacles, and clearing paths that were blocked for so long. Do not underestimate what is taking place right now. Do not deceive yourself into thinking this is just talk. These are signs of a spiritual movement that is unfolding. It's as if the heavens have turned their ears toward you, as if my throne is drawing closer to your story, as if a portal between the unseen and the seen is starting to open. What is happening now is not just my attention, but my intervention. Jesus stands before me with unusual strength, declaring your name with power, purpose, and conviction. He doesn't just repeat prayers. He advocates for you with full authority. He takes your tears and presents them as seeds, your pain as reasons, and your perseverance as proof. As he speaks, the heavens respond, the atmosphere shifts, and the angels receive clear instructions. This is not a metaphor, it is real. It is happening now. You may have felt a different weight in the past few days, a pressure in your spirit, like something is approaching. And that's exactly what you're sensing. It's not anxiety. It's a sign of spiritual change. It's the announcement of what I am about to give you. You've been brought into the center of my action, and this changes everything. The speed of things changes, the environment shifts, the battles change, and the atmosphere changes. Your story starts to change as you listen to my voice. Understand this. When the heavens move like this, nothing stays the same. What would have taken years will happen in days. What seemed impossible will now be easy. Doors that were closed will open. What was still will start to move. What was dead will come alive. What seemed far will come near. Because it's not just the heavens moving, it's me. And when I move, everything responds. This divine action is not random. It has focus, direction, and purpose. I am revealing spiritual resources for your benefit. I am changing situations beyond your control. I am shortening paths, closing the gaps the enemy used against you, removing those who held you back, and bringing closer those who will help you fulfill your mission. None of this is by chance, it is divine intervention. And as this heavenly movement unfolds, there is something I ask of you, to be a participant, not just a witness. What I bring into your life isn't meant to be kept quiet, it's meant to grow. When you share what I give you, you align yourself with the flow of the heavens and let my word break through the barriers that once held you back. That's why I'm telling you now. Share this message as an act of faith, because what moves in you will also reach those who are connected to your obedience. Take a deep breath and soak in this moment. What I will reveal to you next will show you even more of what is being released in your favor. My child, now listen closely to something that must sink deeply into your spirit. What I am about to declare is not a future promise, nor a far-off possibility, nor something still being discussed in heaven. What I am revealing to you is a decree, a perfect, complete, and unchangeable decree that has already come from my mouth, already written in my books, and already set in the timeline I have planned for your life. Right now, at this very moment, I declare before you that your miracle has been released. It's not under review. It's not being prepared. It has already been given. When I decide, nothing in all creation can undo it. When I make a determination, no force, whether seen or unseen, can stop it. When I know something, no one can break it. You must understand that this is not about opinions, emotions, or the current situation. This is about my eternal authority, my sovereign word, that rules over everything. Your miracle is not a request waiting for an answer. It is an answer waiting for your faith. Jesus stood before me, presenting your name with honor, love, and holy conviction. He did not ask out of fear. He did not plead out of doubt. He spoke with the certainty of the one who gave his life for you, with the authority of the one who defeated death, with the assurance of the one who holds the marks that guarantee your victory. He brought your tears not as signs of defeat, but as seeds for growth. He brought your pain not as failure, but as proof of perseverance. He brought your faith, however small, as undeniable evidence that your heart still sought me. And I said yes. I said yes to what my son asked. I said yes to what your heart longed for, what your soul cried out for, what the enemy tried to destroy. I said yes to what seemed impossible. And this yes will not be symbolic, it will not be delayed, and it will not be incomplete. It is a yes that is decreed, sealed, and sent. What is about to happen in your life will not depend on the decisions of people, nor on the approval of others, nor on the circumstances around you. The miracle I have released breaks through natural limits, shatters spiritual barriers, and will be fulfilled because it was born in my throne. And everything that comes from my throne is made manifest on earth at its destined time. I saw when you grew weary. I saw when your strength faltered. I saw when your hope seemed to fade. But I also saw something that heaven honors. You did not give up completely. Perhaps you sank deep into yourself. Perhaps you cried quietly. Maybe you doubted your strength, but you never turned away from me. And that is why now, with a voice of authority, I tell you, what you have lacked will come. What hurt you will heal. What blocked you will be removed. What seemed trapped will be freed. You will begin to see the change, not only around you but also within you. Your spirit will feel lighter. Your heart will find peace in places that once carried only weight. New thoughts will arise. A clearer direction will form, and you will feel an inner drive that didn't come from you, but from my breath. When I make a decree, I begin by transforming your inner being first. This way, when the change happens, you will recognize it as coming from me, not as a coincidence. My child, do not doubt this moment. Do not let your mind try to compare what I am doing now to what you have already gone through. This decree is different from anything you have experienced. It is bigger, deeper, and more complete. That is why I ask you now, as an act of agreement and openness to my spirit, to acknowledge this decree in your life. From this point forward, I will begin to show you how this decree will move, create space, and build in your life. What follows will make it clear that heaven is already working for you. My child, I need you to listen carefully to this part of my message, for it is not just meant to inform you, but to heal you. I speak to you with the fullness of my truth. I saw your pain, not just the parts visible to the world, but every hidden piece of your suffering. I was there on those nights when you woke with your heart racing, unsure how to face the next day. I was there when you tried to hide your tears, even from yourself, thinking that no one could understand what you were going through. I saw, I heard, I felt. Nothing you endure went unnoticed in heaven. There were days when you rose weak, and I saw the quiet effort you put into keeping going. There were moments when your thoughts became heavy, confusing, and dark, and you wondered if you were abandoned, but I never left you. When your chest felt heavy, when your soul trembled, when your spirit seemed too small to endure another attack, I was there. Even when you couldn't feel my presence, it was my hand that held you up so you wouldn't fall completely. You tried to be strong for others. You tried to smile to keep things normal. You took on burdens that seemed too much to carry. And while others only saw your outward strength, I saw your inner being crying out for rest. I heard the question you never spoke aloud: how long? I saw the knot in your heart when you pretended everything was fine. I noticed the exhaustion no one saw, because you wanted to be strong and didn't want to worry anyone. My daughter, I want you to know with all my love, you didn't have to carry everything on your own. I was with you every single second. When you cried in the bathroom, trying to hide your tears, I was there. When your mind told you that no one cared, I watched you with my constant love. When you looked at the ceiling in the middle of the night and whispered, "God, if you see me, give me a sign," that cry echoed in my throne. I saw you, I heard you, and I responded. Everything you went through, I did not ignore. Every moment of your desperation was seen. Not a single tear fell without me gathering it. When you thought I was silent, I was working deep within you, strengthening what you thought was weak and preparing your spirit for what was beyond your understanding. It hurt when you needed support and didn't receive it. You were let down by those who should have been there for you. You carried burdens you couldn't bear, thinking this was punishment or rejection. But I tell you, it was not punishment, it was preparation. It wasn't rejection, it was preservation. It wasn't absence, it was protection. You didn't realize it, but I was freeing you from situations that would have broken your heart even more. I closed doors that could have destroyed you. I moved people out of your life because they couldn't support you for what was coming. I saw your inner battles, the ones you fought alone. I saw that thought that told you, at the end of the day, that you weren't enough. I felt that feeling of failure that made you question your worth, and I was there in the silence, with you, in the fear that accompanied you. I saw it all, and none of it defines who you are. Those moments were only reflections of the pain you carried, not a reflection of your true identity. Now, I tell you, your pain was not wasted. It was seen, recorded, and transformed into the foundation of what I am building in your life. Every tear you shed became a reason before my throne. Every night of sorrow turned into a testimony before me. Every time you thought, "I can't take it anymore," I responded in the unseen, holding you, and the fact that you made it through is no accident, it's purpose. You made it this far because I brought you here. You're still here because I carried you. Now that you see your pain didn't destroy you, you will soon understand in the next part what each of those tears meant in the spiritual realm. You will no longer view your story the same after this revelation. This is the end of this section, and what I will show you next will change your understanding of everything you've been through. My child, now I want to reveal something that few truly understand, but it has always been part of my relationship with my children. Every tear of yours was seen, felt, and recorded by me. Not a single tear fell unnoticed. Not one tear flowed in silence, thinking no one was aware, without me being there, holding the weight of that moment with you. You cried thinking they were only pain, sadness, or exhaustion. But I tell you, your tears were never small. They carry history, depth, and faith. Even when you believed they were a sign of weakness, something in heaven happens every time a tear falls. It does not disappear or vanish. It is gathered, kept, and brought before my throne as a reminder. To me, tears are words. They are records. They are spiritual marks showing how much you fought, how much you gave, and how much you endured when no one else saw you. Your tears speak when you had no strength left to speak. They cry out for what your heart silently asked for, and they carry prayers you couldn't even form. I keep them because they are precious. I keep them because they are part of your journey. I keep them because every tear is a testament to your strength, your hope, and your search for me, even in your weakest moments. The tears you shed trying to understand why things happened the way they did, I kept them. The tears you cried when you felt alone, I kept them. The tears of frustration, fear, anguish, worry, and confusion, I saw every single one, and I kept them all. When Jesus stood before me with your name, He didn't just bring prayers and requests. He brought evidence. He showed that even in your pain, you didn't give up. Even when you were exhausted, you found the strength to keep going. Even when you feared what was ahead, you rose again. Your tears became proof of your faith, and for that, they hold great worth before me. My child, I know there were many times when you thought you had failed by crying. You believed that showing your weakness displeased me. You thought I expected from you a strength you didn't have. But that is not true. Your tears drew me closer to you. They revealed your heart to me. They showed me your sincerity, your authenticity, that you came before me as you truly are, without pretending. That is worship, that is surrender, that is real faith. Understand this deeply. The tears I hold are not reminders of your pain, but seeds for your victory. They represent not just suffering but preparation. Every single tear you shed created a path in the unseen world. Every tear you cried made space for the miracle I've already released. Tears are never a waste. They always return to you as strength, clarity, and transformation. I use them to shape your story in a more powerful way. What you've been through will not be erased. It will be redeemed. What hurt you will not be forgotten. It will be transformed. What made you fall will not bring shame. It will become a testimony. And all of this starts with how I've cared for your tears. Now, as a sign of agreement with what I'm showing you, declare in my courts that you recognize the worth of all you've experienced. Comment 7770, and as a response to everything I'm keeping and transforming for your good. In the next part, I will show you how these tears are already moving heaven and earth in your favor. My child, now I come to undo something the enemy has tried to plant in your heart for so long: the lie of abandonment. This is one of the oldest and most damaging lies, as it attacks not just your thoughts but your very sense of who you are. When you feel abandoned, when you believe no one sees you, when you think I have distanced myself from you, your soul begins to carry a weight that is not from me. That's why I need to speak to you clearly now. None of these feelings came from my voice. They were built in the shadows of the pain you endured and fed by the lies the enemy whispered while you were vulnerable. I saw you when you felt alone, but you were not. I saw you when you tried to take a deep breath to keep going, but it felt like there was no air left to breathe. I saw you when you looked up at the sky and told yourself, God is still with me. You thought I was far away, but in truth, I was walking so close that if your spiritual eyes had been opened, you would have been moved to tears by the intensity of my presence. The abandonment you felt never came from me. It was the pain surrounding you, the exhaustion that clouded your mind, and the struggle that felt never-ending. In every moment you felt unseen, I was paying more attention than ever. When you thought no one noticed your effort, I recorded every detail. When you thought your prayers were floating unanswered in the air, I collected each one, even those you couldn't speak aloud. The lie of abandonment sneaks into the places where your soul feels fragile. It preys on the wounds that have built up over time, convincing you that you are alone, that you have no purpose, and that you are not worthy. But hear this, my child, those voices are not from me. I never abandoned you, not for a second, not even on your darkest days. When loneliness tried to choke you, I was the breath that kept you alive. When your thoughts weighed heavily on you, I gave you the strength to push through. When you said, I can't take it anymore, I was there, holding your spirit so you wouldn't fall to a place you couldn't return from. The feeling of abandonment was not because I wasn't there, it was the result of the spiritual battle you were fighting. I was with you when you cried in silence. I was there when you tried to explain your pain, but no one understood. I was there when you were judged, misunderstood, or ignored. And although you thought I did nothing, I did more than you could ever imagine. I protected your mind when it was at its breaking point. I shut doors that could have shattered your soul. I removed people from your life who would have drained you further. I stopped attacks you never even knew existed. I fought for you when you could barely stand. Now, I tell you, this lie will no longer have control over you. Before my very eyes, I tear apart this feeling that you weren't loved, cared for, or seen. I shatter the thought that you were ever alone. You never were. No matter what you felt, the truth is what matters most. The truth is that I was with you in every situation, even in the moments you wished to forget. Something new is being built within you. You are starting to feel a different warmth, as if something is being released deep in your soul. It's the weight of abandonment falling away and being replaced with the certainty of my presence. As you continue with this message, you will begin to feel a growing peace filling the places that once held fear. This peace is not from you. It comes from me. It is my seal, my confirmation. And now, with love and purpose, I say to you, share this word, because there are people around you who carry the same lies I am dismantling in you right now. Breathe deeply. The next part will show you what Jesus is doing right now to ensure that these lies will never captivate your heart again. My child, now I guide you to what is happening at my throne at this very moment. I want you to understand something that few can truly grasp. Jesus doesn't just love you, he intercedes for you with the passion of the one who gave his life to save you. Right now, he is standing before me, not silent, not distant, and not distracted, but fully focused on presenting your case to perfection. He speaks your name with the certainty of one who has it written on his heart. He talks about you as someone who knows every pain, every detail, and every struggle you faced. And as he speaks, heaven listens in complete silence. Your name is not just another name. It is spoken with deep respect by my Son. He presents your story before me with the accuracy of one who saw every moment of what you went through. He reminds heaven of every tear he collected, the nights you didn't know if you could keep going, and the times when you felt too weak to face what was ahead. He shows me the cup where your tears have been kept, and declares that each one carries eternal value. When Jesus stands before my throne to intercede for you, he does not speak with doubt or hesitation, but with authority. He presents his oath with his proof of what he has done. The marks in his hands, his feet, and his side are eternal signs that cannot be disputed by the enemy. He says, Father, this is the one for whom I paid the price. This is the one for whom I bled. This is the one for whom I faced death. This is the one who, though wounded, tired, still believes you see him. He brings before me every action of yours, even those moments when you felt you had failed. He values what you often overlook, strengthens what you thought was weak, and presents your faith no matter how small as a precious gem before me. Jesus does not just stand before me as an intercessor. He stands as your perfect defender. He presents irrefutable proof of your worth. He refutes the enemy's lies, exposing the false accusations that tried to invade your thoughts. He does not just present what you've done, he presents who you are. He reveals your essence, your efforts, your sincere heart, your true repentance, and your desire to keep going, even when you felt too weak to continue. There is something important you need to grasp. When Jesus speaks for you, he speaks with the authority of one who demands that divine justice be fulfilled. Not the justice that condemns, but the justice that restores. He reminds heaven that you had a right to victory. He reminds them that you have a right to a miracle. He reminds them that you have a right to be healed, restored, honored, and exalted. And I affirm every word he speaks. As he intercedes for you, the angels align themselves, moving in response to his words, receiving specific commands to act on your behalf. His words are not general, they are specific to you, with details that only he knows. And I respond. I release, I command, I move. All of this happens because my Son stands between your sorrows and my throne with perfect love. When Jesus speaks on your behalf, all of heaven is stirred into action. What once seemed silent is now filled with movement. What you thought was immovable is now shifting. He speaks and eternity shakes. He speaks, and the walls begin to fall. He speaks, and what seemed impossible starts to speed up. He speaks, and what was once closed starts to open. That is why I have brought you here, to help you understand that your miracle doesn't depend on your own strength, but on the intercession of my Son. It's not about your abilities, it's about what he is doing for you right now. And he is working on your behalf. So, as a sign of spiritual agreement, like and subscribe to show that you accept the active intercession of my Son over your life. Prepare your heart, because in the next part, I will show you how this intercession is revealing details about you that even you haven't noticed. My child, now I want to lead you to a deeper understanding of my voice. After showing you what Jesus is doing before my throne, it's time to reveal something only I know about you. There are parts of your soul you've never fully shared with anyone. There are thoughts you've kept inside, fears you've hidden to avoid looking weak, guilt you've carried alone because you thought no one would understand. All of this has weighed heavily on you as a secret burden, and I've seen every part of it. I know that thought that fills your mind when you're tired and tells you that you're not enough. I know the overwhelming feeling you get when you think you always have to be strong for others, even when you feel broken inside.